Red One is an action adventure. I'm just going to set it up and then
Please.
and then hand it over to you.
Sure.
Is an action adventure Christmas fantasy comedy, all your favorite genres, written by Chris Morgan and directed by Jake Kasdan, son of Star Wars scribe and Body Heat director Lawrence Kasdan.
Yep.
A guy that I always expect more from, Jake Kasdan. And it's not just because of the lineage, but because of his incredible feature film debut all the way back in the 90s. Have you ever seen Zero Effect with Ben Stiller and Bill Pullman?
Yeah.
That movie's great.
Yeah.
That's a fun little dark indie noir.
I know.
That was his first movie.
Yeah.
He also did Walk Hard. He did Walk Hard.
I
too.
love Walk Hard.
Yeah, Walk Hard and Zero Effect.
Walk Hard's so funny.
Shows some potential.
Walk Hard's the greatest.
But there have just been too many Jumanjis.
And he made Orange County.
Okay, Orange County.
Which is of note.
I mean, if it's your
notable.
third best movie, though.
Yeah, it's
I
tough.
don't know.
Well, he made Bad Teacher, and he made the Jumanjis, which aren't good, but made a shit ton of money and partnered him with The Rock.
Well, look, I guess he's got he's probably got 3 mortgages. I guess he's in the phase of his career where Zero Effect didn't really happen. That version of him didn't happen. So now he does the Red Ones and the Jumanjis. All right. Well, God bless. Red One stars Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Chris Evans, Lucy Liu, and J.K. Simmons as Santa. It's about the head of North Pole Security teaming up with a notorious hacker to locate a kidnapped Santa Claus on Christmas Eve. It's supposed to be the beginning of a new holiday franchise, but those plans are now indefinitely on hold. Joe, what'd you think of Red One?
Brett, I'm officially out of the Christmas spirit.
No,
I don't have
not
any.
even Thanksgiving.
I'm not going to do Christmas this year.
Fuck you, Red One. Look what you did to this man.
Christmas is canceled.
He loves Christmas.
I love Christmas. Christmas is no more. In Red One, I want you to know for the entire runtime, they don't even play any Christmas music. Not once. The entire time. It's a Christmas movie. Okay, so in this movie, J.K.
That's against the rules.
It's insane.
Aren't there government regulations to protect against that?
It's also a waste of it's a bad movie, right? Just use beloved Christmas music to elevate the terrible action sequence or whatever. It doesn't matter. J.K. Simmons plays like a buff Silicon Valley Santa Claus in this movie. He lives in the North Pole is Blade Runner town. And at the top, I swear to you, Brett, and at the top of Stark Industries in the middle of Blade Runner town, aka the North Pole, is Santa's gigantic Stark Industries workshop. And at the very top in the penthouse, that's where Santa Claus works in his giant modern sort of residence. And he has a big gym there and he's always pumping iron. And he has to get physically ready for the, the massive undertaking of Christmas.
J.K. Simmons did get ripped for this.
J.K. Simmons did get ripped. J.K. Simmons, if you're going to cast a militarized Santa Claus, he's able to retain a shred of, Santa's joy, right?
Yeah,
remember Santa Claus from Christmas? We're all familiar with the joy that's supposed to be inherent with that character. But yeah, so he saves a shred of that, but this movie is ugly.
Okay.
Visually and tonally, this movie is crass.
Really?
It's a
shame on you.
It's a Christmas movie with Santa Claus in it, so it's kids are gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm not you. I don't. It's when your movie's about Christmas, it's about Santa Claus, and it's a rescue Santa Claus movie. Doesn't need the word shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't need balls getting crushed.
I like this. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. We're not on Fox News complaining about the corruption of culture. This is, us. If Joe's saying this, he means it's not being used.
If this was
not being done well.
If this was a Christmas movie where it was about adults in a romance or a Christmas time, well, that's a totally different bag. This is a good point. This is The Rock, has to go save Santa Claus who got kidnapped. Anyway, a lot of nuts jokes and shithead shit, and it's
calm down.
None of them are landing. It's not like it's making any it's not like it's helping anything.
It's just sickeningly hollow.
It's just sucking the life out. It's so weird. So Santa's Tony Stark, Jeff Bezos.
Cool.
And the movie's ugly, and the North Pole is a cyberpunk shithole, Blade Runner. I swear to you, Brett, it's so odd. The Rock works for
cyberpunk is the refuge of cowards. It's
so weird. It's this big green screen.
It's become that.
North Pole.
I love the great works of cyberpunk, but that aesthetic is just a refuge for the unoriginal.
This is
now.
so weird. It's so weird. So The Rock works for the ELF. Don't call them ELF.
Oh God.
It's a lot of that.
Oh God.
But also not enough of that.
Yeah.
It's
I love acronym comedy. Isn't acronym comedy fun?
The Rock does all the jokes you've seen The Rock do. It's awful. Chris Evans he is offensively uncharismatic.
Yeah,
always has been.
He's a fraud.
He's the worst. Chris, I thought you said you were going to retire. What happened to that?
It's time.
He was like, I'm going to retire from acting. I don't want to do Marvel movies anymore. It's like he didn't go do like The Wind That Shakes the Barley. Like he went and did Red fucking One. Just retire, you piece of shit.
Also, what happened to your
I don't understand.
Wasn't he going to do a big like reaching across the aisle political
he is
thing?
So awful. In this movie he plays like a lovable thief, like a really smart one.
Yeah.
He's the greatest hacker in the world, and he's really good at it. He's
be a good
so unfunny.
You know, be a good short
bad.
film is Chris Evans trying to reach across the aisle, and then he gets like drawn and quartered because the aisles are too separate. They're too far apart. Isn't that a great idea?
That's a great idea. Chris, he spends the whole movie going, "Wait, what?"
Oh God,
it's a wait what movie for 2.5 hours.
It's like Mia Goth's whole performance.
It's insanely alienating. More alienating this film than anything Breck could have ever imagined. This movie, like I had no way of accessing any of this movie. So in the first 5 to 10 minutes, you think they spent like $50 million in development with like world building. Like this movie is like, world builders strike again. Here they go, overthinking Santa Claus. So every single thing's like, the sled now is like the Batmobile, and like the reindeers are super big. And in the North Pole, the energy is actually coming from Santa because he's part of a mythical beast collective, and Lucy Liu's like the Nick Fury of the mythical beasts. Yeah. And they have to, and it's all like, they're all like the war on terror for like, the Tooth Fairy and shit. Nick Kroll makes a comedic appearance in this movie. Yikes. Nick Kroll in this movie, he is, it's like he's taking a paycheck, that's fine, but at a certain point, like,
how much do you think, $2 million, $3 million,
whatever,
they were just handing out money like it was candy.
He could have done a different piece of shit movie for $2 million. Like this one was really low. Hate it. And he's like doing like funny faces and stuff. It's like,
yikes.
When I was growing up, we had Robin Williams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The kids these days have fucking Red One and Nick Kroll.
2022 was a tough time. Remember, maybe it would be different if they filmed it now.
Yeah. Also, this movie, you brought up the IMAX anecdote earlier. Like, Rock's like, when they put this thing in IMAX.
Now look, Oppenheimer's fine. Oppenheimer's good. When they put Red One on IMAX, game over.
So I watched it on IMAX. Was not a single frame was shot with an IMAX camera. So what it was just like, just a gigantic digital projection in an IMAX theater. It wasn't anything special.
Well, because apparently the movie was already in principal photography when Rock had his like IMAX epiphany.
It's just like they wanted the big movie distributed in IMAX.
So I think they like had to jerry rig some IMAX thing while they were making the movie already, just to satisfy the Rock because he wanted to be bigger than Oppenheimer.
IMAX tickets are more expensive than the regular screen. So like they push movies into IMAX, and IMAX is like a business unto itself. AMC owns a large portion of the IMAX screens, but IMAX can distribute a large portion of their own. So distribution's very interesting. So I'm sure this was just like a promotional thing The Rock was doing in partnership with IMAX for Red One.
Well, gave us one of the great
funniest quote ever.
Gave us one of the great
The
quotes
Rock
of all time.
saw Oppenheimer and said, "We gotta do this for Red One."
Yeah.
And then the last thing, Brett, is like when the people complain about AI, tell them don't worry about it. Because we had already acquiesced our domain to the AI before AI came. Like Red One, there's nothing human about it, and it's all made by humans. There's no AI. There's nothing human about it. It's very like, I mean, thematically, I'm sure like Think Peace Nation on like Santa's Amazon now. Just like imagine the Think Peace Nation on that you could do on this. I'm not going to do that right now, but like this movie's ugly. It's garish. It's crude. It's hateful. It's anti-Christmas. It makes Santa Claus like not like Santa Claus is just supposed to be nice to everybody and give everyone gifts and like be joy incarnate. And I don't know why it has to be anything other than that. I hated this movie. Just like let the AI fucking rain terror upon us. We gave up. Like, why wouldn't the AI look at what we've done and they go, well, for $250 million, I could just do this for free.
When the future people look back at the wreckage of this civilization, they will say they ended themselves before AI.
Yeah,
it wasn't AI. It wasn't some battle.
No.
They already.
Red 1 is
It was already over.
Red 1 is like Amazon down on its knees begging God to let AI come and fucking eviscerate us. That's what Red 1 is.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is intentional.
It's
like a producer situation.
Please.
It's like Bezos is like, oh, if I just like wreck, it's like Elon wrecking Twitter. It's like if I just wreck the thing, then in the wreckage I can become powerful in the wreckage.
Maybe.